Well, welcome, and thank you so much for coming. I want to say a special, I learned something when I was doing public relations myself many, many years ago in Philadelphia, and I had the unusual opportunity to be at a television taping with Mother Teresa and Dom Helder Camara. And she took she had the courage to say, as did he, that he asked everybody to start by praying together. And so although this is a press conference, it's certainly part and parcel of what is really special about Georgian Court. So I invite all of us, as well as our media friends, to join us in a moment of quiet and prayer. Thanksgiving for the beautiful rainy day. The blessings that God gives us as God blesses each one of us with new life. Oh, good and gracious God, in this beautiful season of spring, as you shower upon us water and blessing, you expect in all of us new life, new energy, new ways of being. We thank you for the blessings of this institution and all that have served it so faithfully for more than 103 years. As we begin a new chapter, we ask your blessing and your guidance. And we collectively say, Amen. Amen. It's really my pleasure to welcome all of the faculty, staff, and students that were able to be with us for this historic moment in Georgian Court's history. I'm also happy to have with me some trustees, John Seasalt, John Paul Doyle, Jim Nipper, and of course our board chair, Shea. We also have members of the alumni board, Marjorie Hale and Gail Milgram, and members of the faculty leadership that are here with us, as well as some students and staff that have been a big part of bringing us to this moment. We're making a statement today about going co-ed. Georgian Court University will become fully co-ed in 2013. It was a thoughtful decision made from input from all the invested parties. Current students, former students, alums, faculty, administration, and certainly the trustees. We've been looking at this for a number of months. Changes are consistent with our university Catholic mission and will enable Georgian Court to serve more students in this region and certainly beyond. This is not the first time, as I've said to other people on this campus, nor the last time that Georgian Court will change. We actually started out in 1908 as Mount St. Mary College, and within a few short years, by 1923, we changed locations and we changed names without blinking an eye, and we moved to Lakewood from Plainfield. In 1976, we added coeducational graduate school, and in 1979, we added coeducational evening school. So we've been offering opportunities for people to access higher education and changing how we do higher education to meet the current needs of people. It really is about the mission of Georgian Court. As we make this historic change to our traditional women's college, it does give us an opportunity to offer to a wider group of people a values-based Catholic education in the Mercy tradition. That's really, we think, an important thing for people, especially in this day and age when values are so needed. In 2013, then, this move will make all of the residence, athletics, and activities open to men and women. It is now my pleasure to introduce our board chair, Shea, who will offer some other remarks from the vantage point of the trustees who have partnered with the university, one, over these many years as it's made other changes from college to university, in building some of the facilities that now will adequately house both men and women in athletics and in other kinds of activities. The trustees are trusted partners and good guides as we make changes to keep ourselves current and continue to offer this wonderful Catholic mercy education. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm feeling very aggressive. I just left a lion's chair. So, actually, I was sitting there. Rosemary said, "You're sitting over here." And I said I felt naked without sitting next to my trustees. It reminds me of sitting in a timeout chair. I don't know if you had an opportunity to read today's New York Times, but big article on education. The president of Ohio State University points out that if you don't like change, you will like irrelevance even less. And it's so true. One of the questions that came up for the Board of Trustees, are we moving too quickly in this transition? And when you sit back and realize we've been here since 1908, I think the pace is appropriate. As a board, we took this assignment very seriously. We were ably assisted by Mary, Dr. Gross, third member of the staff. Laura Leisman, excuse me. And it was an education for us. We learned a great deal about the university from a perspective that I don't think we had before. We all benefited from it. And the board was nearly unanimous in terms of making this transition, and the only difference of opinion, the only difference among us, was the timing. And even then, the vast majority supported doing it at this time. And you know, if you look at the delivery of education in the United States today, and all the problems and challenges we face, you have to think differently. To think that you can deliver education as we have in the past is a foolish, foolish premise. And so, as a board, we're exploring different methods of delivery, whether it be online, virtual learning, and I think we're just beginning. I'm excited by the prospect of truly entering the 21st century with a different delivery method for higher education. Who would have thought that we would be offering courses in autism, homeland security? That's how much the world has changed in 20 years, 15 years. And if I stood here 15 years from now, God willing, I'd say the same thing. The world is a constant change. Nature is change. And you have to change. If you don't adapt, you don't survive. It's a basic rule of nature. We have, at this moment, for the first time, opened up the entire campus for the male population in America. You may not be aware that of the 22 counties in the state of New Jersey, 16 of those, what you call the central or southern tier, don't have a faith-based community. So we have an obligation, this university has an obligation to deliver a value proposition to our students. And that value proposition, you know, the core values of the Sisters of Mercy, respect, integrity, justice, compassion, and service. If we deliver those, and we deliver a quality education, we deliver a value proposition. And that's our challenge. Thank you so much for coming this morning.
I'd be happy to entertain questions, I think, from any of the media that are here, and any way we can help to have people understand better the changes that we've made. Okay. And I know that we have a number of people, both from the Coed Task Force, and I add my thanks to Mary and Laura and Mike, who were the Coed Task Force that did a lot of the research, but they also had lots of help from the folks in this room, from the alumni board, from faculty, from various members of the staff administration that have helped to gather a lot of the information. So thank you again to the Coed Task Force. Any questions? I imagine there are a lot of professors. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
What kind of population growth to the student population are you anticipating for 2013 with this move?
Okay, we'll be adding 4 varsity sports in order to accommodate Title IX or NCAA Division II. So even to mount those sports teams, we're talking a good 40 to 50 students if we're successful in mounting those programs. So we conservatively looked at maybe adding at least 100 men. You need to know that there are men matriculating in undergraduate education here at Georgian Court through the evening division that began in 1979. And some of them are also taking classes in the day because it's the only time certain classes are given, and there's usually a waiver for them to take a class from the university college and matriculate in the traditional women's college, especially in some majors like nursing is a good example. And we all know that there's a need for nurses, especially male nurses. So we conservatively predicted that we would have 100 new male students in the first year.
What about dorms?
There'll be some adjustments, and if you want to know, that's a nice way of putting it. We need to make some adjustments in the current residence halls, and we believe that we can accommodate that with some changes, structural changes, using wings or a floor that would be totally segregated. We're also, when Ray was talking about the timing, some of the timing really is to give the campus community, both programmatically for activities, athletics, and even academics, to get ready for this change, but also to do the physical things that we might need to change. We're going to have to change some of the locker rooms, obviously, to accommodate the men's teams as well. So that's another part of the research that we found, that you needed about anywhere from 12 to 15 months comfortably to make a transition and to launch going totally co-ed. We had researched the 10 most recent institutions that went co-ed from being a single-sex institution, and they were tremendously helpful in giving us information and helping us to see some of the steps we needed to take in order to plan and do this appropriately and right. I hope that helps.
What were in New Jersey, do you have any, or can you just name a few?
Yes, we actually reached out to Rosemont, Immaculata in particular, and Chestnut Hill are the more recent institutions that went from single-sex to totally co-ed, and they're more like us. They're also faith-based institutions as well.
And they told you their success with this was?
They told us their success with this included certainly enrollment changes, not only in men coming to them, but in women, more women choosing them because it is a co-ed environment. There's fewer and fewer women that choose a totally single-sex environment. Yeah. Well, Rita, we were going to, okay.
I just want to clarify the timing, that while the co-ed status is official in the fall of 2013, is it not the case that a young man wanted to apply as a first-year student or a transfer this fall? We would welcome those applications?
We already do that in a way. So through the university college, we'll make that certainly as facilitate that as much as we can, certainly for students wanting to come. But we will not be ready to do the residence or the activities or the athletics for sure until 2013. So, yes. Any other questions? Well, I'd like to say that the rain stopped, but it didn't. And you can, as one of our sisters said, consider every one of the drops that fall on you on your way out as a blessing. So consider yourself well blessed. Please continue to pray for us that we have blessings as we make this transition and do it well. We need all the help and support that so many of the people in this room have already given us. Thank you very much, and God bless.